even just from the perspective of getting patient buy-in. If someone already knows you, they already feel comfortable with you, when that person walks through the door, your buy-in is already that much higher, that rapport is already established, it makes treatment so much easier. They already know what your philosophy is, they already know because I put it out there.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dr. Jeff Langmaid with the Evidence Based Chiropractor, and I am lucky to be joined by Shante Cofield, also known as the Movement Maestro, online and off. And we are here at Rockstock 2019, and I'm so fortunate and happy that you decided to take some time and break down Instagram. So many docs want to be on the platform, and you have built an entire life off of it, as I've heard you say yourself. And I want to break it down, so thanks for coming on.
Dude, handshake. Thank you. You know I'm like obsessed with the stuff you do. So total honor to be here and be able to talk about what truly has changed my life.
Let's peel it back all the way to the beginning.
Yeah.
How did you decide to put up your first post?
So I did my first post on September 24th, 2014. I know this because I had to do a timeline recently and I was going through and I was like, yeah, September 24th, 2014.
Okay.
And I basically did it kind of on a whim. I saw Kelly Starrett doing it. I saw Tim Szymanski, one of our instructors for Rock Tape, doing it. And I gotten into CrossFit, and I'm a deep dive person. Got into CrossFit, I was like, I want to learn everything about it. And it led me into kind of going down the social media route and looking for things on there. So looking and kind of searching and going down this K-Star route, and I was like, I think I can do this. And my first post was actually a KT tape post. It wasn't even a Rock Tape post. It was about CrossFit, but it was a KT tape post. And I was just like, let me see what sticks. I got something to say, I'm gonna put it out there.
I like the pun on the sticks.
Yeah. Dad joke.
Well done. So how do you choose Instagram above all the other platforms that are out there?
So it kind of happened by chance. I actually started out with a Facebook page. And I started out as the Movement Mechanic. I was a different name. So for you guys listening, it's okay to change your name. People get so stuck with something. I started off the Movement Mechanic, started a Facebook page. It got some good traction very early on, and so I was like, maybe I should see if this is trademarked already. Okay. It was. So I had to change the name, and I liked the alliteration, so I went with Maestro. Yep. I didn't love the word Maestro, but I was like, it's alliteration, I'm gonna go with it. And I've always just felt that there are happier people on Instagram.
Okay.
So I was posting some of my stuff to Facebook, but just had a gut feeling like the happier people live on Instagram, and so just stuck with it.
When you first started to get going, how did you get the first 100 people? So, what were some of the tactics or strategies you utilized, especially for any docs out there that really, they're nervous about dipping their toe in it, nobody wants to have only one view and it's their mom, that kind of thing, right?
I think probably that's all of my first views, my mom and my friends. And I tell people, I'm like, that's actually the benefit of starting, is that no one is watching. Make all the mistakes you want. Just figure out what you like saying, what you don't like saying, how you like saying it, because no one is watching. And then over time, it grows. It actually took me about 2 years to get my first 10,000 followers. Okay. So I started in September, and then about 2 years after that, 2016, hit my first 10,000. And it was really about consistency. And right before, I hit my first 10,000. So I hit it in about September. That July of 2016, I decided to do those daily Maestroisms, which is a post I just I'm gonna double down on this. I think it's when we start to really find success in things, when we're I'm gonna go all in. And I said, I'm gonna post every single day. I'm gonna do these daily Maestroism posts every single day. I saw Tim Waddock doing it. I saw Kelly Starrett doing something every day. And it's kind of like a TV show, and it's gonna be on. People are gonna turn in at that time, not oh, is it on? I don't know. So I doubled down, did it every day, and I think it was really the consistency that helped the most. Yes, you need to have a quality product, and the market is a bit more saturated now, but first and foremost, it needs to be consistent.
Yep, that's a great tip. And where are you at today with how many followers?
So today, actually, at Rockstock, I just hit 49.3 thousand. Okay. So I'm hoping I will hit 50,000 by the end of the year. That was my goal for this year, was to hit 50,000. And I usually hit about 1,000 a month if it's a good month. I look at it every day and I'm like, holy smokes, this is unreal. The numbers can get kind of inflated to you, and you're just people are on Instagram and they're like, oh, I only have 100 followers. And I'm like, have you ever spoken to a room of 100 people? Probably not. And I get it, Instagram doesn't show your posts to everyone, but still, have you ever spoken in front of a large crowd like that? We should really flip that and be grateful for each follow and treat it as this is a human that took the time to follow, hit the button, and say that I support what you're doing. I like what you're doing.
Yeah, I think having the ability to connect with people is awesome, and it's something, again, as you've said, has kind of changed your life. So let's dive into that a little bit. What have you seen? What have you been able to do today that you weren't able to do before? What's the following and the opportunity to connect with people done for you in your life?
So for those of you that are watching this is what, and for those of you listening, I'm pointing to the amazing backdrop. We're in Huntington Beach right now, filming this, recording this at Rockstock. So social media, Instagram in particular, got me my job with Rock Tape. I started going down that rabbit hole of looking for movement professionals and providers on Instagram, found Perry Nicholson, Stop Chasing Pain, you guys don't know him. I took the Rock Tape course for him. I didn't take it for Rock Tape, I took it for him, and fell in love with the content. And I was like, Perry, I want to teach for this. I want to teach for this company, I don't care how long it takes. And he put me in touch with other people in the company, you know Allison, you know Steve. And because I had this kind of a portfolio going at the time of like, this is how this person thinks, this is the messaging they're putting out, this is how they connect with their audience, it really helped me get that job. And then as I got the job, I was traveling the country to teach, I brought my brand with me, and I was always posting where I was going to be, I was giving insights into my day, I was posting about things that I learned. From there, it really just started growing exponentially, where then I did my first personal course in New Zealand because of social media. I knew I had a following, I reached out and I was like, do you guys want a course? They said yes. I set it up through Rock Tape over there. I did a course in Australia, same thing, because of social media. I did my first international speaking gig in Dubai because of social media. People were like, oh, I know you, I would like for you to come and teach this. And so that's just been like from the teaching perspective. I've also been able to put out courses, and I love nerding out with you about this, and move into the digital space and treat less. Move to California, drive a Jeep, create my own life, my own time scale for things.
I absolutely love it. And I guess, what are maybe some of either the biggest challenge that you've had as you've grown on Instagram as part one, and part two, maybe what's the biggest misnomer for docs who don't get involved, quote unquote, with social media?
So I think the biggest challenge, and you guys that are on probably already faced it, if you haven't, you will, is the frustration of what is successful and what's not, and who is successful and who's not. I know so many people, you're a perfect example, you're putting out amazing things and you don't have this massive following. And then I see people putting out nonsense and they got a gazillion followers and you're like, what? And it can be extremely frustrating, but we should also be able to use it as a lesson and being like, what are these people doing that have these massive followings, and what can I take from that and use within my own philosophy, my own approach to social media? Is it because they're really connecting with people and they're making it digestible? Probably. So that's probably one of the most frustrating things. I work hours sometimes in a post, and I'm like, put it out, and then it's like, and then you do like a post about hip flexors, and it's like, the internet broke, and you're like, damn it.
Yeah, I think it's probably detaching from the outcome is sort of what I'm hearing.
That's the perfect way to say it. You have to be, be serious about it, but you can't take it personally.
Yep.
Like, you really can't. I think one of the things that misconceptions and such that docs and such face is that it doesn't do anything, that there's no benefit to it, that you will not see a fast ROI on this. You will not. It is very much a long play game. But even just from the perspective of getting patient buy-in, if someone already knows you, they already feel comfortable with you, when that person walks out the door, your buy-in is already that much higher, that rapport is already established, it makes treatment so much easier. They already know what your philosophy is. They don't have to sit there spending time being like, yes, I really believe in breathing and foundational patterns. They already know because I put it out there.
Yep, I think that building that know, trust, and like factor before somebody walks in is such a big deal. I guess, and with that as well, maybe the docs that maybe you've gotten started and you have a small platform, and maybe you haven't, but you want to get started, or students, etc. What are maybe 2 to 3 tips that you would give somebody who's kind of getting on right now, getting their feet wet, and they're willing to say to themselves, hey, I'm willing to put in the time, I just want to know a little bit more about where I should start?
So I would say the first thing, be consistent. No matter what it is that you're putting out, be consistent. If you really want to grow this platform, you have to post every day. It can't be like, oh, I'm going to kind of do it sometimes. You guys know with every other thing in our lives, like when we want to get better at it, we do it. If you want to get better at this and grow this, you have to do it every day. And the best way to grow your following is actually in the DMs, in the direct messages. Posting is amazing, but we want conversations. Posting is like it's funny that we're here. Posting is analogous to having a storefront. It just gets people in. but the sales happen inside.
Yep.
And so you need to be messaging the people that are following your content. You need to be messaging other accounts that you really look up to or that you like their work.
Yep.
Because the main way that you're going to grow is by being reposted by somebody else, especially a big account. And the way that they're going to repost you, the reason they're going to repost you is because they like you and they like what you're saying. And so you have these conversations, you become friends with them, and that's how you're going to grow.
I love that. I'm gonna repeat it because I think it's so important. Number one is consistency is absolutely crucial. It's a skill, and you start to build momentum over time. The second point that you brought out, which I think is really interesting, is make sure that you're connecting with people. Yes, it's a platform where you can put out content and be the megaphone, but the gains are going to be when you direct message somebody and we start to build relationships, whether it's somebody that has a big platform that can share your message, or whether it's with the individuals who are going to be bought in more to who you are and what you do. Touching on some of the technical capacity, stories versus post, how do you use each and what are your thoughts?
So I think you need to use everything on Instagram. Instagram does reward people that use all of the platforms within the platform. So I think it's very important to respect the parameters of each of these platforms. So a post is a single picture or a single video. Yes, we have the carousel feature. You can do multiple videos, multiple pictures, but nobody wants to watch 10-minute long videos. That goes in Instagram TV. Put it there, it's for longer content. As for the actual post, you're allowed 2,200 characters for your caption. Don't go into the first comment. Respect the confines of the platform. If you can't say it within 2,200, you don't know it, or you need to make it a second post. It's too much. Remember, you're posting every single day. Stories are an incredible way to get people into your life. So I like to say, yes, be a human. Maybe you have really clinical or whatever kind of posts. That's fine. But in those stories, I want to see your face. In your stories, I want to see your life. I want to get to know you. And it's the perfect way to do it without posting and feeling like you're posting off-brand. Because it's in the stories. And then we have that last feature, Instagram Live, which I love. And it's like having your own TED Talk. You get to talk, people, maybe they interact, maybe they don't. But this way you get different facets of the platform, different lengths. You want short stuff, we go on stories. You want a minute or less, we go on an actual post. And then if you want to talk forever like I can, then we go on IGTV.
And do you try to hit each of those once a day, or what's the order of importance?
I would say that you need to make sure that you do a post every day. So make sure that happens, non-negotiable. And then the next and most important would be stories. And you can announce your post in the stories, you can just show your day, you can talk, you can take a picture, you can be so creative, which also, just what you're posting gives people insight into your life. And kind of how you're posting it. Oh, you pick fun music? That shows that you're a fun guy. Yeah. Oh, your captions are clever? Amazing. He's witty. I like this guy more. So I'd say order of importance is definitely going to be posting, stories, and then whatever else you want to do.
Cool. And talk a little bit about what is Swipe Up? What's the benefit to it? How do you enable it? What does that mean?
Swipe Up is amazing. Swipe Up is a feature for those who have 10,000 followers or more. The rich get richer, clearly. If you have 10,000 followers or more, within the story feature, you can actually link to an outside link, right? Instagram wants to keep you on their platform, but if you have 10,000 followers, they will grant you this special privilege of allowing your followers, when they view your story, to swipe up on the screen and then be directed to another a link. It's amazing from a marketing perspective. It's amazing to capture emails that way. It's tremendous to do that. Whether you want to take them to outside content that maybe isn't appropriate lengthwise or whatever for this platform, you can direct them to anything you want. So it just gets rid of that friction for that person. I gotta go to my bio and then find the actual link in my link tree. So many steps. You just swipe up right from that story. So 10,000 followers, you get the coveted swipe up.
Yeah, it's super powerful because traditionally, as you said, you have to do link in a bio. There's a little bit of friction. It's challenging when you can swipe up, and everybody that's used Instagram has seen it. But a lot of times, docs out there don't know how do you enable to do that. And probably the only other way to do that is through an ad. So yes. I guess talk a little bit about buying likes and/or ads. Always, sometimes, never, and/or why.
So I would strongly advise against buying any kind of interaction or buying followers. It will mess up your numbers when you move forward and trying to figure out what's a good post. Because analytics, I think everyone should have a business account. You can switch that in the actual settings. And then when you do that, you'll get analytics for each of your posts or insights for each of your posts. If you have fake followers, those numbers are messed up. And so you don't know, is this actually doing well? Do people actually want this? All right, so I would really strongly advise against buying followers. I know it's really tempting, but the whole goal is to build that organic following. You don't want reach just for the sake of reach. You want people that are truly invested in your thing. And if it's only 500 people or 200 people, you go hard with those people, and they will build your army for you. I think paying for traffic is wonderful. I would always encourage going organic first, understanding what converts, understanding what people want, what sells, understanding how to connect with people, and then going to people like you and asking them like, hey, how do I do this? Because ads are really confusing, and you don't want to just be like throwing your money away. You don't want to boost posts. Boosting posts doesn't do, they give you that option, but don't do that. Right. Reach out to Jeff.
It's a donation button.
I did, right?
That's it, right? I'm
like,
going to donate money to Instagram and Facebook right now.
So don't do that. Reach out and actually ask someone that's doing the ads. And the analogy that I heard is, when you want rice, you don't plant a rice field. You go into the store and get rice. And it's like, in the beginning when you're poor, you plant that rice field. You take care of it. Right. But then once it's like, providing somewhat, then it's like, yeah, okay, I can pay for some ice. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. I think that's the key thing. I think organic is best, and you don't want to, it's like a drug. You don't want to live on a thing. Like when you're living on ad spend, you're up against it. You're already going to be fighting the whole time instead of doing the right thing. So when you look at your analytics, maybe what are the top 2 analytics that you like to look at?
I actually want to see shares and saves.
Okay.
That's the content you care the most about. Yes, people go crazy over likes. They go crazy over it. But I want to create content that I know people want. And I know they want it if they're saving it. Yep. And I know that they really are interacting with it and they want it if they're sharing it with somebody else. So I think those are quite possibly the 2 most important. If you're going to grow, you got to use hashtags, right? That's how you're going to be found. And so you can also look at the insights in terms of how your posts were found, and that'll give you a little insight as to if the hashtags did well. Like, it shows you how people discovered your post. But I think the biggest ones are how many shares and how many saves.
Yep, that's very interesting, because I've always just looked at likes and comments, but that's great advice. Take a look at your shares and take a look at the saves, because you're right, those are the people that you're connecting with at the level that they're taking a real action, right? They either want to look at it again, or they want their friends to know. That tells you you're on a warm trail.
I love the interaction for sure, like how many comments are on there, but you can see that on the, that's totally an analytic. You can see it on the front too, so I'm like, yes, you want that engagement. So engagement, and did they share it and did they save it?
Yep, I think that's awesome. So talk a little bit about, I know I saw that you were helping some DCs, some PTs, some ATCs, some strength and conditioning coaches really kind of step up their Instagram channels with what you've learned. Talk a little bit about what you're up to with that, and maybe a little bit about the program that you put together as well, because I saw a bunch of wins being shared.
Yeah,
online.
dude, it was. My mind was blown. I kind of selfishly started this because I wanted Instagram in general to level up. I wanted to be around really good people that are sharing really good things. And I see a lot of people out there that put a lot of good stuff out, but they don't get the traction. Or maybe they have good ideas, but they don't actually put it out because they're scared. And so I was like, I want to do something about this. So I started an Instagram challenge. Free 7-day challenge. You post every day. I sent the correspondence via email, told people what to post. 1,500 people signed up. My mind was blown, and I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna manage this? I'm probably gonna die. And I did almost die, but it was worth it. After that, I sold a course on how to dominate. I tried to make it a catchy title on how to dominate Instagram. And I wanted to teach everything that I know to everyone that wanted to learn about it. So it's a self-paced course, Instagramming with the Maestro. I launched it at the end, and people put that stuff into play, and they got wins. But while I was doing this Instagram, when I was doing the challenge, people kept reaching out, and they were like, I want more. I want more than the course. And I was like, what do you mean you want more? That's a self-paced, 3-hour course. Everything I know is in it. You pick and choose what you want, how you want to go through it. And they're like, I want more. They wanted accountability. And so I started the Instagram Intensive. And that ended up being 37 people. And it's a 6-week program. We meet every Tuesday. We do it online. And I coach them through, I call it business coaching for Instagram. It's not Instagram coaching. So I gave these two options. I closed them both just so I could manage it. And then I'll be relaunching both the Instagram course and the Instagram Intensive probably so it's September now, probably next month, sometime in late October.
Okay, and if somebody wants to check out maybe the challenge, is that gonna come up again?
The challenge will not come back until next July.
Okay.
It was such a beast, because the whole thing with the challenge was show up. Our hashtag that we used was Maestro show up to blow up, which meant I had to show up for everyone. And so I'm going through all these posts to double tap on them, to try and comment on them, and I have time zones around the world. And so like I would just kind of finish one day and then it's like, and Australia's awake. And I was like, I'm gonna die doing this. So next July, you guys, it will absolutely be back because the community that was built, if you check out the hashtag Maestro show up to blow up, I think it's at like 5,000 posts, and it's just such like inspirational stuff in there and just cool people you can meet. So that won't be back, but the course will be back. If you go to my website, themovementmaestro.com, I changed my homepage, and so you only have 3 options now. You can listen to a podcast, you can sign up for a course, or you can sign up for coaching. So if you click on the button that's for courses, it'll take you to the page and be able to see everything on there.
Sweet. What can docs expect? What are maybe the two or three big benefits by going through the course?
I think the biggest benefit is that it's self-paced. And so I had like a lot of moms sign up for it, and they're like, I cannot do this stuff just all the time. I can't go to a course right now, and like it's amazing to me. I have moms that they post themselves studying and looking at it on social media, and they're like breastfeeding while they do it, or like the baby's sleeping, and they're like, this affords me the flexibility to be able to do this when I want. I have people that are at the course right now, or at Rockstack right now, that are like, yeah, it's been 2.5 months, but like I'm working my way through it, and I just needed this much time to do it. So it affords them the time of like the flexibility to be able to do it. I think the second thing is that it's a very no-nonsense, non-icky, I'll say that, approach, where I am all about what I call connection marketing. It's not about like doing this likes, follow for follow nonsense and buying followers. It's straight up, this is how you build an organic following. This is how you build a tribe. You want to convert, people that will convert, that will buy. You said it before, know, like, and trust. And that's going to take time, but that's the system that I employ. It's none of this like floofy, like fake stuff. Like it takes time, but you will get people, I promise you. You do it this way, and you put in the time, it may take a few years, and that sucks. I know people want fast results. It may take some time, but you will get to the point where you do a launch and you sell something, people will be like, take my money. I promise you.
Yeah. I think staying consistent with that is so key, and exactly as you said, really not having like those scammy, crappy, tactical processes. It's more about how do I create systems and processes to build relationships with people and establish my brand and ultimately get people to know, trust, and like what I'm up to. Because if you're starting the channel and you're doing it as a healthcare provider, you're passionate about helping people.
Exactly.
And it's really about being able to, at the best way you can, and most efficient and effective way, to get the message out there. So with that being said, where can people find out more about you and what you're up to?
So the 2 easiest places to find out things about me, you go to Instagram at The Movement Maestro. Maestro is spelled Maestro. That was my hesitation with getting the handle, because I was like, nobody can spell it. But you go to The Movement Maestro on Instagram, everything is there. The link in my bio has everything. Or if you want to go onto the website, themovementmaestro.com. I've changed the homepage. You only have 3 options, so it's not like, where's everything? You go to right to where you want, and you'll be able to navigate from there.
You're an awesome speaker. You are a fantastic person, and you're doing great things. So I would encourage, if you're looking to build your Instagram profile, if you're looking to get more engagement, if you're looking to do it in a way that you can be proud of, then definitely check out what Shante has going on, and I'd highly encourage you, pick up the course, dive in. You said it, it's self-paced, so you have the opportunity to dive in at your own discretion ultimately, and see the gains by doing the right thing, but being effective with your time and not wasting time. She's done it, she's learned how to do it, she can teach you how to do it as well. So for Shante, I'm Dr. Jeff. Thanks.
Dr. Jeff, thank you, Thank you, guys.
Hey, what's going on? If you loved that video, be sure to subscribe to this channel. The Evidence Based Chiropractor puts out videos all the time at the intersection of marketing and research, showing you how to grow your practice while also growing your knowledge base. So if you liked it, be sure to comment down below or hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.